Righty then, ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. It is raining. We are in storm territory here in southern Los Angeles, California. I'm drinking my coffee. It's an iced coffee in a cold weather. I want to say, it gets cold in California. Just because it doesn't snow doesn't mean it doesn't get cold. And if you didn't know before, now you know. People from other places that get to be, let's say, 20 degrees, right? Think California never gets cold because our numbers never hit those kind of levels. Duh, obviously, no. You don't really get 20-degree weather in Los Angeles. To say nothing of Death Valley. I mean, let's not forget, there are places in California that do get cold. Let's not act like we don't got mountains over here. And obviously deserts can get extremely cold. I'm talking about Los Angeles, right? Hollywood, sunny, shiny LA. It gets cold. Like, for two reasons. One, it just gets cold normally. And again, just because it doesn't ever hit those low numbers, technically, where you can see it, because obviously visual representation is a big part of how people perceive things. But also just from the fact that we do normally have 70-degree, 80-degree, and 90-degree weather, because global warming is a thing. Global climate change, actually. I should change it. It is changing. It's not global warming anymore. It's climate change. It is climate change being caused and changed because of human existence. Not debatable. This is an oligarchy. No questions asked. So when you are accustomed to warm weather, believe it or not, when it does get cold, those cold moments hit colder. They feel colder. I mean, there is such a thing as feeling colder than what the scale reads. And so, yeah, it might be 50 degrees right now, probably 60. No, actually, I'll say 50. It's probably 50. Well, I'll say it's like 60 degrees, but there's wind chill, right? There's water, right? So it makes it feel like 40. So I'll say that. I say it feels like 40. And anyone, even in the colder places where it snows, will agree. 40 is cold, okay? It's cold, okay? You can store your water in 40. You can store your milk in 40, okay? So let's just get that out the way right now as I sip my sippy sips. I am Latino. I am half Mexican, half Salvadoreño. And I'm a little ashamed to admit this because I should be. I had no idea, no tenía ningún idea qué significaba la palabra Salvador. I didn't realize until I started learning. To be honest, I've always been learning. I didn't realize until I started getting more appreciation, a deeper sense of my Latino culture, that I realized, oh, El Salvador. Because I always knew my dad was from El Salvador. I never didn't know that. We knew it, like we talked about it. It was important, man. It was important. I don't know about you, okay? First generation immigrants, where they come from, their home is extremely, no exaggeration, important to them. And so, yeah, as a kid, I knew exactly where my mom came from and where my dad came from. It was talked about. A little bit too much, to be honest. Because my dad escaped from, Civil War. I don't know how else to say it. So it was a point of a lot of pain. And It made for an unstable home environment. Now, the studies say children living in an unstable environment will have lower test scores. Well, guess what, baby? There's a lot of us, not just me, but I'm just talking about me in this case. we worked hard and we got them good grades, right? Here's the messed up part, though. We talk about the goal line being moved when it comes to this country and what it means to be successful. This is a type of country where if certain people like Donald Trump are in charge, they'll move the goal line. So yeah, all of a sudden, grades might seem unimportant. And to say nothing of the fact that I agree with that, let's analyze this a little bit deeper. Grades have been very important to me. On the surface, on like face value. On the surface level, you get good grades, you study hard, and at this point in my life, I'm 30, gonna be 31. What's up? Shout out to all the February babies who have birthdays in the month where people are valentining and whatnot. I've gotten the good grades. I took one or two. I experimented. Okay, I'll put it like this, right? I started to feel myself in high school when it came to my academia, I don't know how to say this, like my prowess in academia, right? I started to feel myself a little bit, and so I messed around with three advanced placement courses. One in political science, one in economics political science and economics. I'm sorry, it was a combined course in high school. Shout out to Downey High. Yeah, it was one class teaching two different subject matter: political science and economics. I'm also here at the Taco Bell because I'm gonna get myself a breakfast crunch wrap. Shout out to the breakfast crunch wrap. I will hear no slander about the breakfast crunch wrap. I will not. Okay, especially the way I hook it up. You about to find out. You about to find out. Okay. The other one that I took was no. I'm sorry. I took advanced history and then advanced economics. I don't know why I said political science. I took political science in college, one course. And I got an A in that bitch too, so just saying. Alright.
Welcome to Taco Bell. Are you checking in with your afternoon work point?
Nah.
That's fine. Are you ready to order?
Yeah. I will have the breakfast crunch wrap, please.
Breakfast crunch wrap, sausage, bacon, and steak.
Sausage with bacon bits.
Sausage, you want to add bacon? You want to buy a separate combo?
By itself. Yeah. I already got my coffee. I'm good.
Alright. Anything else?
Nah, man, that's alright.
Any sauce packets?
No sauce packets.
No sauce. So you want only 62 cents of tuna scholarships?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sausage crunch wrap with bacon added. Be 7 minutes.
Alright. That's it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why not round up those 62 cents? Gas went up 20 cents. Alright, I'm gonna pause it now as I pay. Alright, baby, we back. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't say I'm in a good mood today. I also wouldn't say I'm in a bad mood today. I definitely am noticing that I'm in a different mood than the normal. Normally I don't have that much energy to go about my day. That's depression. And let me feel the pain. All right, listen, I know that there's people out there experiencing depression. A lot of us. And if I have the silver lining, it's this. If you are able to, you're in a good place if you're aware of your depression. You're in a good place, because there are people like first generation immigrants, unfortunately, who are depressed, who are battling with their internal demons, which is mental sickness, and they don't know what to call it. That's a really tough spot to be in. And I know about tough spots, okay? So, let's keep going. Let's keep doing what we do. And here's my problem with Trump, right? I guarantee you someone like Trump does not care about your depression. He don't. He doesn't sympathize with what it's like to go to sleep early, wake up in the morning, and something's off. You should, for all intents and purposes, be ready to go with your day, and yet somehow you just wake up after 8 hours of sleep and don't have any energy. You can't sympathize with that. You can't sympathize with that. You hear the pundits, you hear the celebs who bash him over the head for that. Is because we don't like our leaders to be so unsympathetic. I think America could do better. I know America can do better. I have to believe. Otherwise, it's the apocalypse, you know? I'm doing my part. I am speaking more. I hope to do even more and more speaking. And I'm a little worried about that, because you speak your thoughts and it's you know, I mean, if you're speaking in good faith like I am, you're opening yourself up to bad weather. Speaking is like stepping out of your home into a storm. And you just have to be like, okay, I have my raincoat, I have my umbrella, I have wallet, phone, keys. Let's do this. You know? So I'm speaking, and I'm doing my part. And I know that people are going to connect with me and resonate with me. And not even so much because of the truth that I'm spitting, but more so because we're of a flame. We're of a kinship. Trump has found his, and they're the kind of people that are gonna pardon January 6th terrorists. You know, like, okay, sure, okay, fine. I mean, September 11th was on my mind because of a YouTube clip that I saw about Neil deGrasse Tyson educating the people about what really goes on about with the TSA and what their real goal is. And for as much, and basically the message was, and this is like a 30-second clip, but basically the message was, the TSA has changed from what it used to be ever since those terrorist attacks, and they made it more tedious to go through an airport for both sides. Because, like, trust me, if you think the TSA, maybe a few of them do, but if you think the majority of TSA people enjoy having to put you through their paces like that, they don't. They really don't. They don't. Okay, but but they take their job seriously because they have to. Okay. It's a career. It's a career. Okay. So and then it's tedious for you too because you're not a criminal, right? But there's just this normal disconnect because guess what? They don't know you, and like you want to know how complicated that is. Like even people who do know you don't even know parts of you, all of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, anyways, Neil deGrasse was talking, and he was saying where the biggest change, in his opinion, and I would agree with him, assuming what he's saying is true, which I think it is. Neil seems like a very, very, very intelligent man, and I'm not even just talking about like book smart. I'm talking about like emotionally intelligent. He seems like a very emotionally intelligent person. Like, I mean, let's be real. Game recognized game, you know what I'm saying? So, Neil, hit me up. But anyway, she was saying like the biggest change that happened when it came after to those 9/11s. And by the way, I'm aware that I compared Trump's supporters or the January 6th rioters to terrorists because they are. Okay, so basically what had happened is those terrorists took over the cockpit, right? And you wonder how could the pilots let them take over the cockpit? Well, because the thinking at the time was that was the best way to go about it. Never really foreseeing, because hindsight is 2020, that these people were actually going to kill themselves and everybody on board the plane. And so 9/11 won't ever happen again because no longer will pilots of an airplane ever relinquish the cockpit. And that's why you don't really get to see them in there. You don't. It's not really open for you to see. There's tight, like the doors are locked, bolted, high security when it comes to the door and stuff. And then I think every plane has a professional, what's it called, law enforcement officer. So, God, I'm blanking on their official title. I know they have an official title, and I'm blanking on it completely. So imagine a president that was like, oh, they're good people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, my guy. No, you moron. You emotionally backwards Neanderthal, all right? I don't know if this is true. I saw somewhere that there was more than just the Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. That there were actually like many species in the sapien family, which I don't know. I don't know. That's probably new science to me, because I'm of the belief at 30 years old that it's just the two. And at the same time, I'll be honest. I am not the knower of all things in this universe. I think an area of study that I want to be more affluent in is the study of human history, I'm just a sapien, oh, I'm just a sapien. Yeah, I suck at people pleasing, but I stay people pleasing, 'cause there's a whole lot I've been seeing, and I'm tired of lonely seasons, trying to spread my vibes. All this love I cannot hide. Now your love is on my side. Oh, you thought I wouldn't blind, yeah. Can't keep going against myself. She comes out of me, I won't refrain. Can't keep beating myself. I won't complain, I'm just a sapien. Oh, I'm just a sapien. Oh, I'm just a sapien. Oh, I'm just a sapien. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is Wednesday, baby. Wednesday. Oh, beautiful Wednesday. How I love to be inside of Wednesday. I had some really nice conversations with those people that I bought my coffee from and that I bought my breakfast crunch wrap from. Now, I don't know about Taco Bell as a company. I'm of the mindset that it's better to be skeptical about everyone and let them prove you wrong. Where are we at? 22 minutes? So I'm about to get started on my work cycle. I got a long day ahead of me. Okay, I can't eat and record at the same time, so I'm gonna put a pause on this. Okay. Before I sign off, that crunch wrap was delicious. Oh, sometimes, most times, these fast food places, the food is pretty mid. Or as I like to say, eh. Every once in a while, you'll get these orders, or you'll order the thing you always order, and you'll catch the workers on a good day, and it just is like, you're like, oh, so this is why people eat here. This is why we put up with all the frozen food and stuff. When it comes to idealism in I should say, when it comes to our ideology, it's a tricky matter because we don't live in an ideal world, and all of us vary in the details of our ideology, because I think ultimately we all, in an ideal world, all of us would be getting along. That's what everybody wants. It's the details that separate us. How it goes about it. For people like Trump, his ideal world is he's living in it. We are bowing down at his feet. In my ideal world, you're bowing down to my feet. And so that's where communication becomes super important, because we're all trying to get what we want, and don't take yourself out of the race. Fight for your ideology, because it's a good one. You're not Trump. You are capable, far more capable, and responsible. And believe it or not, I'm talking to myself here. That smile is amazing. You are humble. You're civil. You're realistic. Sometimes a little too realistic. Like, it's good to be in Fantasyland sometimes because we need to be. The real world is depressing. Can't get stuck in that depressing place. It'll eat you alive. Got some food stuck in my teeth. So fight for your ideology. It's better than doing nothing at all. And watch some anime. I'm watching this anime called Dungeon People. It's actually one of my favorite animes so far. So it's still in its first season, so I caught that early. It's cute, man. The cuteness overload is a lot. It's a cuteness overload in that thing. The main characters have deep personality. There's a lot going on in the dungeon because the show is called Dungeon People. And you can tell there's a lot that the writers can do in there because they're really spoon feeding me with their contents. And normally when shows do that, it can get to be a little bit boring. With Dungeon People, I'm really getting a sense of their style and how it's going to be because in those boring parts, it's not. The characters carry you through those moments until you get to the big fight action scenes. And even with the fight action scenes, it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see. They really pick and choose spots and moments to do the anime thing. Growing up, I was a fan of Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, and I still am. I'm waiting for the next episode 41 of Blood War, Bleach. Those shows do not do a good job of capturing my intrigue. The characters are stock characters for the most part. They definitely pick and choose when to add depth to these characters, which goes a long way in carrying them as characters. They spend a lot of time thinking about the action and building their story around the fights. So it's refreshing for a show like Dungeon People to be like, your ears are going to take a little bit of a backseat. You don't really have to worry about bang, bang, boom, boom. We're going to have you fall in love with these characters. Clay is the name of the protagonist. I forget the name of the dungeon master. Oh my god, why did I forget the name of the dungeon master? I don't think they say it too often. And yeah, and so they're both daughters, but they have relationships with their parental figures that are kind of sad. They're a little distant from them. There's this natural gap when it comes to connection, and you can really see what I'm talking about if you watch these episodes, because the characters, I guess it's an emotional thing, you know. These characters and the way they interact with each other, you wouldn't know it unless you could feel it, and you could only feel it if you've experienced it. But being on your own, and then being an outsider, not because other people cast you away, but because you're just operating on a different level than they are, is a different kind of loneliness. And so these two characters, who I find to be just the sweetest, have been living inside of themselves like that for a while. And then they find each other finally. And so the first 10 episodes are just exploring that. It's like, what would it be like for these two characters to suddenly be in each other's lives through circumstances, you know? It's sweet, it's cute. Alright, well, it's about time that I get started on my job. I'm delivering people their orders, making sure the food is nice and warm. Some of them are very, very rude. I do not like them. And then some of them are very, very sweet, and I love them. So, we will talk another time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow. Wait, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Tuesday, yeah. I did not go to the gym Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I'm not going to be going to the gym today. So tomorrow, I'm not going to record because I will be going to the gym. Or maybe I will, who knows? I'm a little bit spontaneous like that sometimes. So,